What's up guys, it's AJ from 79 Prospecting. Today, we're going to review the Gold Hog Piglet. The Gold Hog Piglet is Gold Hog's entry-level, second-generation Highbanker. It can be used as a battery-powered unit, which is how I use it in the field and how we're going to review it, but you can also use it as a gas-powered unit or even a 2-inch dredge. So the nice thing about it is it offers a lot of flexibility. Now we're going to go ahead and review the Piglet on 3 major criteria: portability, performance, and price. Let's get started. First off, portability. It's 18 inches wide, 36 inches long, so it's very small and compact. We'll see if that affects its gold recovery ability later, but that's kind of nice. It's really small. It weighs a hair over 20 pounds, so it's really light. All right, let's go ahead and pick this unit up. You got very convenient areas where you can put your hands. You can easily carry this thing hundreds of yards without having to put it down. So it's lightweight and it's easy to move. Now when I hear something is lightweight and portable, sometimes that means it's not well made, it's cheap. That is definitely not the case here. Doc from Gold Hog always says they don't make toys. I agree. This is a well-made unit. I think they learned from some of their mistakes in the first generation unit. They improved the welds. It is solid. Next, let's check out its performance. Now, it's nice to have a small portable unit, but in the end, a Highbanker is only as good as its ability to process material and capture as much gold as possible. So for performance, we're going to look at it in 2 sections. First, we're going to look at the header box or crash box, and second, we're going to take a look at the sluice section of the Highbanker. Now for the header box, it's fed by water through a 2-inch PVC pipe that comes from either your gas-powered pump or your battery-powered bilge pump. The water comes through the header box and it will either hit the header box directly or go through the optional clay claw. The clay claw is a separate edition for, I believe, $49. I would highly recommend it because it just improves your flexibility for the type of dirt you run. If you've got really sandy material with little clay on it, the water should be able to wash it sufficiently here, and then it will travel down the bottom of the header box. If you have a lot of clay though, you might need to wash the material a little bit longer. That's where the clay claw comes into play. You can wash material, you can manually rinse the material, and then it will go through the clay claw and then go through the Grizzly Bars down below. Now, first big critique of the unit that I had, using it as a battery-powered Highbanker, as you've seen in a lot of my videos, if there's a lot of clay, you have to do a lot of manual rinsing. Because what happens is, if we didn't do that, the clay-rich dirt would come down to the Grizzly Bar, and it would be sitting on the Grizzly Bar with a lot of dirt on the rocks. And eventually, when it cleared the Grizzly Bars, there was dirt still sitting on the rocks that was unwashed, and that to me was a little subpar. Now I completely understand that we were pushing this unit beyond what I think Doc would say you should be able to do, but that's what we're doing. We're pushing equipment to the limits, and we want to see how it performs. The other issue I had with the crash box is it's really small. I mean, if you put this down, I'm sure you saw in some of my videos, I mean, there's not a lot of room. I don't have big hands, and I can barely fit them side to side in here. The reason you're able to run unclassified material through the Piglet is you've got this nicely developed Grizzly Bar system down below here. Any of the material less than 1/4 of an inch should pass through the Grizzly Bars. Anything greater than 1/4 of an inch, so go off the back into your coarse tailings pile. This is a really nice, high quality system. What I really like about it is if you get a rock stuck here, these Grizzly Bars are a little flexible, so it's easy to push the rocks through or pull them out. A lot of other systems, like if you're using a punch plate, the holes are static, so it's easy for rocks to really get jammed in there. Now let's take a look at the actual sluice box. This is where this unit kills almost any other unit on the market. It's only 36 inches long, so you have to use every single inch, and the way they designed it is absolutely brilliant. So as the wash material that is less than 1/4 of an inch travels down in between the Grizzly Bars here, it first hits this they call it hog moss, which is just a version of miner's moss that they use right here. Underneath the miner's moss, they actually have their gold hog matting. And right in front of the miner's moss, they have this rubber flap. So what happens is when the water comes down here, it forms a pool. And the pool is basically a nice fluid bed in the first top 6 inches of the sluice box. So it allows a lot of the fine gold to settle down here and a lot of the nuggets as well. Then the material starts to travel down the sluice box. The rubber mat here smooths the water flow out, and then it continues downwards. I really like this setup. I don't think I can say how much I like this setup. I mean, it is amazing. Almost all the gold that you're gonna find, well over 90%, is gonna be caught in the top 6 inches. Why? Because of how well this is designed. That is a A+ design. Gold Hog does sell a 36-inch extension that goes beyond this unit. Doc says in multiple videos, I actually can't believe he says this, he's like, I really wouldn't buy it because you're not going to capture that much gold. But you know, us prospectors, we want to catch every last little bit of gold. So I actually spent the money to buy it. It was $179. Honestly, it's not worth it. He's right. Why? Do you catch a couple extra specks of gold? Yes, but you will never come close to recouping the cost of the extension. The top 36 inches catches 95 to 98% of the gold easily, and it catches the finest gold, sub 100, 200 mesh. That's a lot of the gold that I'm dealing with. We have big nuggets, but we also have tiny little specks of gold because it's an old hard rock mine, and gold from hard rock tends to be very fine. So I definitely would not recommend getting the extension. But if you want to catch every little speck of gold and get your recovery rate closer to 98-99% consistently, you can definitely consider doing it. Let's have a little bit of fun and actually run some material. In my last video, I showed that I bought 8 pounds of iPan for gold pay dirt. We're gonna run all of it, every single last bit, and see how well it does. We should have a lot of gold, a lot of big gold, a lot of fine gold in the box at the end, and we'll see how it does. All right, let's go ahead and turn it on. With the unit turned on, you can really appreciate the fluid bed formed in the top 6 inches of the sluice box. Now if you look below the rubber flap, you can see how smooth the water flow is. That is critical. We're decreasing turbulence, and that helps maximize gold recovery with the Gold Hog matting. Here you can see the action in the header box. It's a little subdued, but remember again, we're using this as a battery-powered Highbanker using a 3,700 gallon per hour pump. This will never match the washing power of a gas-powered pump, but still not too bad and much better than most other units on the market. You can see the water flow then go down through the 1/4 inch Grizzly Bars and down below into the fluid bed. We're now going to run 8 pounds of iPan for Gold's best pay dirt. We're going to run a 4-pound jar and 2 2-pound jars. So there should be approximately 10 grams or so of gold in the box down below when we're done. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and shut down and inspect the mats. So we've just shut down and we're taking a look at the mats for the first time. I like to call the hog moss the nugget moss. Why? Because if you see a piece of gold sitting on top, it's probably going to meet criteria for a nugget. So here's my 6-gram nugget here. I always like to throw that in to see how it acts in the sluice box. There's a couple of nice big chunks of gold here, but there's definitely, it doesn't look like there's 10 grams of gold here, right? The reason why is most of the gold is sitting underneath the hog moss. This is why this system is brilliant. This fluid bed basically helps suck the gold underneath the hog moss, and it gets trapped in all of these spirals here, and it doesn't go anywhere. And it's a good thing that you can't see any gold on top. Looking just beneath the hog moss, you can see some more gold. So there's some gold lined up here. Looking over here, you can see a little picker over there. Now working our way down the mat, you can see, if I'll try and point it out, right down there. Look down there. I'll try to zoom it in here. There's a pocket of gold sitting right there. That looks good. And then working our way down, there's little bits and pieces all through here, but there's really not that much down here. Not that much at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this out here, and we're gonna see how well it did. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. The other thing I really like about this unit is the cleanups are really easy. The mats come out pretty quickly. Initially, I literally just dunk the mat in the bucket. And then, once it's in, I'll start rolling the mats. Roll it this way. Flip it to the other side. And then we're going to reverse roll it. So the grooves, we're going to open up the grooves, because now they're like this, we're going to open up like that. So you can see I'm just going to reverse roll the mat. And that's it. And you can see here, I mean, there's a couple of tiny little rocks are stuck in there, but there's no gold in there. You can look here, and the mat's cleaned out. And that's it. After all the material's been emptied into the bucket, usually I'll just put in a couple squirts of jet dry and pour all of the water and super concentrates out. So we have taken now 8 pounds of material, and it fills the bottom of a very small finishing pan, and that's it. And all you have to do is pan this off or run it through your finishing sluice, and you're done. We went ahead and did a quick cleanup of the concentrates in the mat, looking really good. You can see we have a lot of nice big nuggets here up front. That's always nice, but almost any mat, any sluice box, any Highbanker can catch the big stuff. What I really love about this unit, and specifically the gold hog matting, is the fact that you can catch all of this really fine gold here. And you don't need to take my word for it. You just take a look at some of Ray Rusaw's videos up in Alaska. All he's got is super duper fine beach sand gold, and it does an amazing job. So if you can catch this stuff here, this stuff is a breeze to catch. I went and panned off the fine tailings. This is it, guys. Barely anything. No mat system's gonna be perfect. You will always lose a little bit of gold, but this is not bad at all. This is definitely well under 1/10 of a gram. So let's go ahead and do our quick overview here. For portability, it gets an A. It's lightweight, it's easy to carry. I can't think of any ways to improve it. I love its portability factor. In terms of performance, I'm going to overall give it an A-. I think as a battery powered Highbanker, it's a little underpowered, but I don't want to knock it too much because try to find another battery powered Highbanker on the market that can move this much material. It does a pretty darn good job given the limitations of a battery powered Highbanker, but if you hook a gas powered pump up, it does really well. In terms of its ability to capture gold, I think the Gold Hog mats pretty much speak for themselves. They are amazing. They catch the fine gold, and that's the key. They catch minus 100, 200 mesh gold, and of course it's going to catch the nuggets. I love the fluid bed. It's a great idea. It's well thought out. Got no problems with that. So overall, A-. In terms of price, what you pay for is what you get typically. It's $479 plus shipping. The clay cloth's an additional $49. I would definitely recommend that. In terms of the extension, that's an additional $179. You can do without it. I don't think it's going to ever pay for itself because the top 36 inches does such a great job. Now I know some of you guys are dying to find out how much gold we actually got. You're going to have to hold out for my next video though. We're going to be doing a review on the Gold Hog multi-sluice, and we're going to do a very thorough cleanup of all the gold. We'll see what we found. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.